Folks, thanks for coming on the line with us today. My name is John Dubas with Premier Marketing. We'll be spending the next 45 minutes or so discussing prospecting through dental programs. This is an area of demand and need for the population we serve, and we're seeing an increased emphasis on these types of products. We'll be spending this time going through different options that our organization offers to the agent population. And the presentation is being recorded, and it, along with additional information, will be sent to those who have indicated interest in this topic. We'll come to you via email, along with many of the documents that are going to be referenced throughout the course of today's presentation. A bit of background about Premier Marketing. We are a national marketing organization founded in 1968. That's part of the Integrity Marketing Platform. We have offices across the country. We act as an insurance wholesaler, providing insurance services to independent insurance agents in every state of the United States. We do offer contracts that are normally vested immediately at the highest commission levels available, and recruiting contracts are available to those who qualify. As I mentioned, we're founded in 1968, so that means this past year we celebrated our 50th anniversary. And it's a great illustration of the small town boy made good. A family organization in a small town in rural Nebraska has become one of the largest organizations and one of the largest producers for many of the Medicare Advantage programs that are available across the states. This gives you an indication of where some of those Integrity Platform partners are located and the strength and depth of our partnership with the organization. We do offer a full insurance portfolio that includes all sorts of Medicare programs, including Medicare Advantage, Medicare Supplement, and standalone prescription drug programs, a full portfolio of life insurance and annuities programs, including final expense, pre-need programs, in addition to long and short-term care plans, disability income, and ancillary products, much as what we'll discuss today with dental programs that many times fold in additional benefits for vision and hearing as well. We also offer a full portfolio of critical illness cancer products with hospital indemnity programs available as well. That Medicare Advantage portfolio includes all the big boys and many of the strong regional carriers that make an influence in your market. They're available through our organizations with vested contracts. That same philosophy carries over into the standalone drug programs, the PDP programs offered by the national carriers and some of the regional carriers as well. That Medicare Supplement portfolio is very broad and is aptly illustrated through the use of a complimentary Medicare Supplement quote engine available to agents that are contracted with our organization. That ancillary product portfolio, well, this gives you an indication of the carriers that are available with Premier Marketing in those different categories that we mentioned a tad earlier. So when we speak of prospecting through dental programs, there's a number of philosophies that come into play with this initiative. First off, we need to recognize the need for these programs. There are a number of adults across the board at different ages, in addition to the senior market that does not have dental care and cannot afford the costs of the services. They have a number of different factors that come into play as well when folks think that they need the care, but they don't have the monetary means to cover the expenses that come with it. When we work with the older adults particularly, 93% of the adults 50 plus say the current Medicare system is inadequate and would like to see change, particularly when it comes to the dental programs. And for those of us who have sold Medicare Supplement and MA programs, we, in many cases, tend to agree with them that there is a need for additional dental services. When you look at the Medicare market specifically, 2/3 of the Medicare population doesn't have dental coverage at all. Half of the population hasn't been to the dentist in the last year. About 1/5 of the population has spent more than $1,000 on dental care. And 15% of the Medicare population do not have natural teeth. This is details given to us by the Kaiser Family Foundation, and the full study that this is taken from will be part of the material sent to you as part of the follow-up to today's presentation. When you look at how things go in the immediate future, generally when you get on a conversation like this with a marketing organization or a different carrier, they speak to the wonderful possibilities you have in dealing with the baby boomers aging into Medicare and how that is a growing niche market, very large niche market, that agents can service. You dig down a little bit deeper and you go into senior dental coverage, it too is an expanding market, obviously, but the percentages are growing within that population as well as we project into the immediate future. We spoke of the fact that about half of the Medicare beneficiaries did not visit to the dentist in the past year. And if you look at the latest statistics that are available through Kaiser Family Foundation, this gives you a breakdown of how that comes about through different categories with race and ethnicity, income, and health status as well. That is a very important piece of why we offer dental coverage, not just to help folks financially, but the influence it can have on the health status. When you look at the folks who feel that they are in poor or fair health, a good chunk of those don't have dental coverage, and there may be a correlation between those two circumstances. So we've discussed the fact that Medicare itself doesn't cover dental coverage very well, that the folks in this market don't have a lot of the coverage, and then you look at it and you'll see that over 3/4 of the Medicare population that are seniors say they plan to visit the dentist within the next year, so there's a need for additional assistance to handle those costs. And this then goes into the different categories that we deal with within the Medicare population. When you look at a concentration of different products that are aimed at different demographics within the Medicare beneficiary world, you have a number of folks that even are greater influenced by the fact that they don't have the monies for this coverage, and that includes folks with low incomes, those in poor health or under the age of 65 with disabilities. These are the populations that are most likely to go without dental care. And when you look at that, then we've got about 1/6 of the population that are under the age of 65 on Medicare. Those individuals are one of the categories that are most likely to go without this care. These are inexpensive programs that are not underwritten, so it's a group that we can reach out to and help, and they are in dire need of our help as well. The dual eligibles, a lot of the D-SNP programs that we work with will speak to the help that they provide their beneficiaries in the dental programs that are part of their program. And with many of the carriers, they actually emphasize this point where they have $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 worth of coverage. When we get into some of the additional details as to what some of these services cost, we realize that, hey, that's a great start. But if you go beyond the full beneficiaries and you start to speak of the partials, and this is a different market in a subset of the lower income individuals, these folks generally don't qualify for the D-SNP. So these are the folks that get the extra help or LIS assistance. They don't have the help on dental because they're as much as the duals because they tend to be on the regular programs. And so these programs are of great interest to those individuals. I spoke of the fact that the D-SNPs, many of them offer some dental assistance, but if you look at how people use their dollars in the care of their teeth and other dental services, well, nearly 1 in 5 have spent more than $1,000 for dental care, and even with some coverage, they may be a very viable prospect for us because of this circumstance. This gives you details as to what Medicare does and does not cover when it comes to dental services, and many of the things that we take for granted as an individual on an individual health program that may have dental coverage through group or coverages we've procured, many of the things that you need to take care of your teeth are not covered by Medicare, as demonstrated here. Once again, an emphasis on the fact that most of the Medicare beneficiaries do not have the coverage, so there's a predominant need. And even the folks that are on Medicare Advantage plans now don't have enough coverage. So you take all that and then you factor in a need for eyewear and hearing benefits, and we've got a very large proportion of the folks we commonly deal with that need help. So you look at it and also couple in with that the fact that many Medicare Supplement programs don't offer these coverages at all, and the Medicare Advantage plans offer limited coverages. And many of those Medicare Advantage plans will offer you an opportunity to offer a buy-up program through their company. That's a great idea for the company, but as an agent, we're not generally compensated for that add-on sale, and it really, in many circumstances, will work against us when it comes to product persistency, as opposed to having another program in the household which will drive up our overall persistency. So when we do the math and we look at some of the costs that come into play with expenses that aren't out of the norm at all, we're well beyond many of the benefits that are available through some of the programs we offer, and we look at a number that if a person doesn't have any assistance, it can be really, really hard to handle and budget for. So when you go to Premier's website and go to the products section, we're going to give you an indication of the different carriers that are available through our organization. And the Standalone Choices, at present, there are opportunities coming in the near future for additional carriers as well, but we look at some very strong name programs that are available to offer in addition to what we have provided through other coverages, specifically the MA world. So it gives us an opportunity to go back to the people that we've visited with the past that are in our book of business and offer them additional coverage. It's not a real hard push when it comes to a sales presentation. It's basically yes or no. Hey, we have dental coverage available. Are you interested in additional details? When you go out and explain the program properly, it then gives you an opportunity for an additional sale with additional commission. Putting another product in the house will drive up your persistency. And if we explain the program correctly, it does also help us with a product that will stay in place for a number of years. And so going back to these carriers that are available, we look at Aetna, Ameritas, Anthem, Humana, Medico, Mutual of Omaha, all strong name brand companies, and then United Commercial Travelers and United National Health are also programs that many people are familiar with as well. These programs additionally give us another type of marketing opportunity, and these carriers also offer additional marketing material. So it gives us an opportunity to reach out to the general population with another approach and another way to not only help our current book of business, but also drive additional prospects, enlarge that book of business, which gives us an opportunity to visit with them on other products as well. When you look at Aetna, this gives you an indication of where some of those programs are available as of last fall. Aetna has a very strong program that enables cross-selling as well. So if you're working in the Medicare Supplement world, the same program can actually help you in a singular electronic application. So a lot of opportunities through Aetna through their supplemental programs. Ameritas is available just about everywhere, and they offer some great help when it comes to not only marketing telephonically and electronically, but also through the use of microsites that enable you to create and expand upon your presence on the World Wide Web. Anthem offers programs in various states as well, and is a great way for you to also do some things electronically and reach out with preset marketing material that you can personalize and make a part of your overall marketing plan as you go through the remainder of this year. This is a carrier that many people underestimate when it comes to the offerings that they have. A huge carrier, Humana, with an offering just about everywhere in the country and in the state of Texas, in every county in the state of Texas, and products available for the dental world in every state but Washington. So it is also a great way for you to have production with Humana, where at this particular point in time, they're looking at the contracts of agents who haven't produced in the last year. This is a great way to make certain that you have the opportunity to keep that contract in place as well. Medico, they do a ton of things that can help you sell dental programs. Their DVH program has been one of the pioneers in that area of cross-selling a singular product for multiple purposes. They offer a ton of marketing material and also offer the ability to create a microsite and establish your presence on the World Wide Web. Mutual of Omaha, who doesn't remember the Wild Kingdom? A huge name carrier with strong dental programs across most of the country as well. United Commercial Travelers, a nice combination of products across many of the states, and it's a way to couple other coverages as well, including the needed critical illness programs that many of the folks don't take into account until they need them. United National Life, it's a pretty strong portfolio of products as well, and a fairly broad availability across the country. So how do we determine what we need and what is a viable part of our portfolio of products? Well, that's where our quote engine can help you as well. The dental programs are available on this complimentary tool to contracted agents, where you can go in and do an analysis based off the quoting engine and based off the preferences of the people that you're dealing with. Additionally, many of the contracts that we are referring to are part of a program you may already have in play and aren't aware of. So one of the things we need to examine is, first off, where are we? What do we have already in our portfolio? How can we leverage some of the additional products through contracts we already have? And what do we need to pick up in order to make certain that we can leverage the assistance available to us through these different carriers and the products that they offer? So when you look at that quote engine, you've got an opportunity to look in different categories, and the dental program is there for you to use as well. It gives you a layout based on price or other filters. So you can go in and set up a program and get additional details and have all that information available to you in one central site. When we look at those different carriers and different offerings, do kind of what they call the Benjamin Franklin test, where you're doing a T and what are the benefits for our prospects and for us. When we look at the prospects, many times they'll look at just the costs of the program. That is available to you through the quote engine, as we just showed. It also gives you a way to get the specifics on the benefits, including the limits, and we'll see commonly 1,000, 1,500, 2,000. There are some programs out there with larger benefits, but it gives you an idea of how the cost varies according to the coverage that a person is looking to obtain. Some of the programs have different deductibles and coinsurance or layout periods for certain services. That'll be available to you through all of the information on the quote engine as well. Most of the programs are fee-for-service and don't have networks. Many of them, however, have an optional network where they've negotiated prices on different services, and using a dentist or another provider professional through that network will actually help the benefit that you're providing through the program last longer because they've negotiated down the price of the different services. Obviously, too, as we've shown through the last few slides, not every program is available everywhere. So if you're in a particular state that has a carrier offering a different product that you're already contracted with, but the dental programs are not available through that carrier, obviously you have a very glaring need for additional carriers to help you with the program. And then, of course, there are folks that will consider the reputation or the name of the program that you're offering as well. Awareness of the carrier's reputation can make a big difference as to whether or not you sell a particular program or your comfort with offering that plan as part of what you provide to your book of business and to your prospects. When we look at it from our point of view, for us as an agent, how easy is it to contract? Do I already have it in play? Is it something that I can add very easily? Can I do it electronically? When we look at the product portfolio itself, if I am working with a limited number of the carriers, what are the product offerings that help me not contract with 20 different companies? What can I use within a particular carrier's portfolio that matches my mentality and the needs of my prospects and clients? And what's that company going to do to help me sell it? Do they have materials that are already available in both the sales process, in the presentation process, when it comes to basically outreach as well to drum up the business? Do they have a way for me to communicate with my book of business electronically so I don't have to reinvent the wheel and come up with a whole bunch of additional expense by a regular mailing or another means of reaching out to just my clients? That's one of the things that we're working on here right now, is creating a system for you to stay in front of the folks that you've already sold, communicating with them regularly, and having marketing support for additional product can be very, very helpful to you in that regard. So if I've offered a product and my prospect or client is interested in the program, how can I get them enrolled? What's the simplest way for me to do this? Hey, a dental premium isn't necessarily huge, so even if I've got a 50% commission product, and there are some out there, I'm not going to make a ton of money on it, so I have to be careful about how I manage my time as well. So how can I enroll them? If you're working with your book of business, many of these programs will enable you to work with a personalized URL, or you can just send them a link to the program that you've discussed, and they can enroll electronically, and the credit comes to you and your agency. There are also programs that offer telephonic enrollment, so you don't necessarily have to be right in front of the prospect. Keep in mind, in many circumstances, if you're using this as a prospecting tool, a face-to-face visit allows you to establish your reputation with that new prospect, create that relationship to move into other products into the future as well. And these programs, unlike some of the Medicare Advantage, well, scratch that, all the Medicare Advantage and PDP programs doesn't require a scope. Because this is an individual health product, however, if you have an appointment with a Medicare Advantage or PDP prospect, completing the scope of appointment correctly ahead of time allows you to present this at the very same time. So it gives you a way of coupling on additional programs through electronic, telephonic, and face-to-face options of enrolling your prospects and clients. One of the big things that many of the carriers are offering now is a way to help establish yourself online with that presence. And many of the companies that we've talked about give you an opportunity to set up that microsite or work online through email or other ways your own website as well to create that online presence. Have folks come to you. One of the things we're seeing as more of us age into the Medicare population, more and more of the folks that we reach out to are comfortable doing things online. And data has shown us that many of them will actually do a bunch of their homework online ahead of time. So having our presence out there can really, really help our overall sales. And then we referenced it briefly, but what's the commission on these products? They'll vary from carrier to carrier. If you're a recruiter, obviously it's a little bit of a different angle as well. But we don't look at this as just, boy, I'm going to make this much money on a particular sale, and that's why I'm doing this. The commissions are, in many circumstances, a byproduct of servicing our current book of business, but it's also a way of establishing a separate income stream into our agency. And that's one of the reasons why in many cases I'd recommend that if you have an option with a Medicare Advantage product to just do a buy-on or an add-on to their current product that they have with you, consider using a second company, not only for this commission piece of it, but also so you can differentiate how those benefits operate. One of the challenges we have with dental programs is many times folks feel that they'll operate in the same fashion as the medical programs that we've provided for them. We all know that's not the case. They're of a limited benefit, and how you access that benefit can be a bit different than what they have with their basic health benefits. So differentiating it can make a big difference for us in the persistency of both of our products. Once again, the availability of these programs can make a key difference as well. If we're working in the state of New Hampshire and this product is not available through one of the carriers, well, you've had one of your options eliminated, haven't you? So look at where the carriers are available, and we can help you with that analysis. And then, of course, the reputation of the carrier might have a different slant for you as an agent. How easy are they to work with? What kind of support do they have? Do their feet in the street support the program as part of what you're doing as your major thrust of your insurance agency? So some different things to consider when you look at who do I want and who do I contract with and what do I get out of it. Some of the things on how you sell it, these questions were provided to us by Medico, and they're basic questions. Are you aware that your Medicare plan doesn't cover dental? Having some of those statistics that we've talked about through Kaiser Family Foundation, which you'll receive, give us not only the details we need, but the confidence to speak to these products and help establish the value of these programs. Many people have also become accustomed to having dental programs before they retired or before they went on Medicare, and having additional dental coverage, well, it's pretty much the way we have it here too. They're comfortable with how the benefits work, and we're able then to reference back and use that as a way of getting additional people to take out the coverage. When's the last time you went to the dentist? I vividly remember visiting with folks when I've asked that question, and they'll take their teeth out of their mouth and set it on the table and say, hey, it's been a while, but I've got my dentures. Well, one of the things that we find as we age or lose weight or gain weight, the shape of our head and our mouth changes, and having a comfortable set of dentures can be a big difference and can be a very expensive part of dental care. So keep that in mind when you run across that particular circumstance. Having the details too about knowing how poor oral health is linked with other diseases can be a very convincing factor, particularly if you're working with folks who have had a family history of cancer or gastrointestinal challenges, some of the other things that come with poor oral health. One of the things that we're finding is many of these coverages offer the exam very inexpensively, And it uncovers not only a need for different services within the dental world, the hearing world, in the land of vision. Many of those tests can also reveal other health problems that a person is not addressing as well, and gives them an opportunity to catch other health circumstances ahead of time. Many times we don't think of that. And then there's some of the obvious things. Have you had any pain in your mouth? Well, that could be a problem with a tooth that's still there or one that's not. And then additional coverages for the vision and hearing, knowing that people need those services. If they're wearing glasses, when's the last time you've had that examined? If you're having challenges communicating because they can't hear you very well. My father used to have his own version of a hearing aid, which was a hand cupped behind his ear. That's a pretty good clue as to the need for hearing benefits as well. The difference it can make in the income for you and your agency, well, just doing one dental program a week in the Medicare world based on their street commissions, $1,000 benefit program per week, 52 sales is almost 10 grand a year. You bump up that benefit a bit and you're going over 12 grand just by adding one additional program. And it can be as simple as the old Columbo clothes. When you're getting up to go and you're headed toward the door, and by the way, one more question. Do you have any need of dental coverage? Real hard pitch there. And it can make a huge difference, not only in the lives of your prospects and your clients, but also your wallet. Many of the companies, too, offer different sales incentive programs that the dental programs, vision programs, hearing programs contribute to. So it can be a difference maker for you as well when it comes to qualifying for additional incentives and trips. So keep that in mind. It's not a direct commission payment, but in the long run can really help as well. Those carrier tools, once again, this is a demonstration of Medico's piece with their custom agent sales site. Great way to establish that presence online and work across the board to drive people into your book of business so you have greater opportunities. The Aetna Quote and Enroll program, which we have a practical live demonstration recorded for you, speaks to you on how you can cross-sell using the e-app as well through both existing clients with that organization and new clients as you add them into your book of business. Ameritas does some wonderful things when it comes to marketing too, and it gives you an indication of how you can use a simple add-on product to grow your book of business, and do so through the different ways of presenting the material as we've already spoke of, the presence online, doing things telephonically, and face-to-face as well. Mutual of Omaha, they got a ton of ways to do it too. That e-app is there for you. The guides are available. And many of us do so many things on our smartphones. Sometimes you wonder if you ever talk on them. There's different ways that you use them. And this is a great way to maximize that tool that you have, that you carry with you, many of us, all the time. Why you would want to do these programs through us here at Premier? Well, if you're looking at multiple companies, you can set up an agent profile through SuranceBay and contract with multiple carriers electronically. It does a couple of things for you. Most assuredly, it takes a little bit of investment up front for you to complete it, but it's the same time you'd be spending on contracting with one carrier by creating that profile. It also gives you the same advantages that you see on many of the e-apps that the carriers are offering. One of the big challenges we have is some of us write in another language. And I'm not speaking of languages outside of English unless you're speaking of Chickenese. Creating a contract agreement and doing it by hand, some of us don't write too legibly. This is a great way to eliminate that problem and add additional carriers very quickly and easily and proficiently. We also offer discounted errors and omissions coverage to our agents. There are programs out there where an organization may add you to their blanket E&O, but it only covers you for the programs that you have with that organization. Some folks put everything through one marketing organization. Some folks don't. This gives you the opportunity to work as a true independent insurance agent and cover your tuchus regardless of where you have a contract placed. It's done very economically and covers all lines of the programs that we generally offer. We also offer you a way to keep your license in place with discounted continuing education through our relationship with WebCE, and a way to protect your income. As an independent agent, you have to maintain your own benefit package, so the dental programs might be something you consider for yourselves, obviously. It's a great way also to help you bring in an additional way of, hey, I believe in this product so much, I have it myself, a way to help sell. But this is a program that gives you an opportunity to obtain disability income insurance for yourself on a non-cancelable basis, discounted through our association with this organization, and a way to protect the money that you're bringing in as well. We do offer additional training and resource programs. This is going to come to you as part of the follow-up as well, a way for you to go back into the library of programs that have been offered, watch some things on YouTube according to your own schedule. We realize that you're investing time with us when we do these live. We want to give you the opportunity to visit with other concepts and programs, and also do so on your schedule. We are continually adding to the electronic support that we offer our agents as well, in addition to quote engines, also remote enrollment devices that come through the Medicare Center, the CSG Actuarial e-app, and an emphasis on the different programs that are available in conjunction with the carriers with whom we all contract. We have a program to help you put your social media efforts on autopilot, so additional information available for you there as well. And as I mentioned, one of the reasons why you'd offer these programs is to help qualify for additional trips and other incentives. It also is a program that helps you qualify for the Premier Producers Convention that we offer to our agents with products they offer through us. This year, it's Jamaica. Next year's trip is about to be announced, so watch for that as well. Some of the things that we can do to help put you in front of folks, well, dental programs are not a tough sell, and for even folks that might have a tad bit of call reluctance, it's a very simple call. Hey, I'm just calling because dental programs are available in your area. We have a number of different options available to you. I'd like to get you some additional information. You can do that. You can cold call. How do you cold call without knowing who you can actually reach out to, who's not on the do not call list? We have custom contact lists available for you, and they can be available at minimal or no cost depending upon your contracting relationship with our organization. We also make different programs available through grassroots marketing and working with retail. Many of those programs operate year-round now, and believe it or not, we're almost through March. We're going to see these programs begin being discussed within the next couple of months. Having these programs are a great add-on and another way to visit through that as well, depending upon how you work that system. There are also opportunities to work through churches and different providers. The churches, well, a presentation on needs of dental programs can be a great seminar piece, and we can help you with that. The faith-based organizations also reach a portion of our folks that we aim to visit with that don't respond to other means of advertisement either. And having that third-party quasi-endorsement by where they go to worship can make a huge difference as to your sales percentages. Working with providers, well, many of the doctors and specialists that we work with now understand the value of good oral health, but it also offers that opportunity for us to visit with dentists. There are carriers that offer additional marketing opportunity to help you maximize that opportunity, and we want to help you with that. Some of the carriers actually offer leads as well. That depends upon if you have a reciprocal relationship in many circumstances. Are you working and bringing business to a particular carrier and they're reciprocating by throwing you a bone, so to speak? This is an area where working the internet can be very, very lucrative in the fact that you're getting additional business without investing a whole bunch of time if you do it properly. Knowing some of the internet lead systems that are out there can be of great assistance to you. And it's a consideration for your direct mail that you use. Keep in mind that the letter that you send, well, the response is going to vary, obviously, by how specialized that letter is, but certain programs will evoke a higher response rate as well. Sending a direct mail piece that addresses dental can help drive up your return, get you in front of more people. You address this particular product, you got them in your book of business. It's a great way for you then to have additional people to cross-sell. And we help with that cost of direct mail. Based on production, you get deeply discounted rates through our preferred lead vendors on a 1,000-piece mailing. It's a great way for you to do some things consistently as part of your overall marketing package. That said, you've got a ton of opportunity on a demand product that can make a difference not only to the folks that you serve, your prospects and your clients, but also to your pocketbook. We want that opportunity to work with you and would love to discuss the different possibilities you have in this niche market. So if you're looking to make this a part of your personal marketing plan, let's discuss the programs that are available to you, the opportunities you have. Let's get it in place and get it operational. That said, you can reach any of the marketers with Premier Marketing through our toll-free number, 1-800-365-8208. If you're already working with a marketer, they'll be more than happy to go through some of the different choices that you have with the carriers that we referenced earlier today. You can also find the information through our website at premiersmi.com. I realize that we have taken almost 3/4 of an hour in this presentation, and we thank you for that investment of time. Watch for the follow-up that we'll send to the folks that have raised their hand with interest in this topic. That'll be coming to you very shortly, including a link to today's presentation, a PDF of this PowerPoint as well, and the additional reference material that we spoke of through the presentation. Thanks again for coming on the line. We look forward to visiting with you in the very near future. And hey, we wish you good selling. Thanks so much. Talk to you soon.